Salam and welcome back to SomaliDispatches.com and to our weekly program Dispatches. I am Abdul Qadir Goulet. Ramadan Kareem. This week on Dispatches, we'll be talking about the passing of, may Allah rest his soul, General Jama Mohamed Qalib, an influential Somali politician and academic. Jama was an instrumental in Somalia's independence and nation building, and later contributed to the liberation of the country. He also significantly contributed to Somali literature. We will also discuss Somalia's current political situation with the election of speakers and their deputies of both houses this week. Furthermore, we'll discuss the historic election of Somalia's first female deputy speaker. We'll also look at yet to come election of the president and the impact the speakers would have on that process, since they all hail from the opposition. To discuss those issues and other items, we're joined by Ishaq Sheikh Mohammed of Legacy Center. I started our discussion by asking him to give us his thoughts on the recent passing of General Jama Mohamed Qalib.
Assalamu alaikum to you, Abdul Qadir, and to my brother and to our viewers. May Allah accept our amal and dua in this holy month of Ramadan and forgive our shortcomings. And may Allah unite our hearts and of the Somali people and save our nation, inshallah. Inna Allahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Jama Mohamed Qalib was one of respected leaders in Somalia. Politicians. I'm really sorry to hear his death. He was a former politician who held different ministerial positions in the Siad Barre government. One thing, while reading his biography, a lot of people might not know, is that despite him not going to a traditional school, he became an avid writer who authored several books. And one of his most popular books is The Cost of Dictatorship, The Somali Experience. How relevant is that book today? And in this book, General Mohamed Jama Qalib provides an illuminating account of political and social factors that resulted in famine and civil war in Somalia in the 1990s. May Allah bless his soul. Great loss.
I mean, Ishaq Sheikh Mohammed, give us your take on the outcome of the shenanigans of the elections that we've seen at the speakers this week, and perhaps Sadia Samatar's historic win as the first female deputy speaker, and what that means historically for Somalis.
Thanks, Abdul Qadir. Events leading to the election tell the entire story of the situation of this nation's state of being. Those of us who follow the Somali politics know the tense standoff on the day of the election. Understanding, underscoring the differences and the divisions amongst the political groups and within the country's security forces that is exacerbated by the delayed elections. However, the election of the speaker in the parliament and in the Senate are crucial in establishing a new government for Somalia, which, by the way, must be in place by May 17 if Somalia is to continue to receive a budget support from the International Monetary Fund. Both Abdi Hashi and the Speaker of the Senate and Sheikh Adam Mudobe, the Speaker of the House of the People, are veteran politicians, and they are both permanent opposition figures. I think time will tell if they have what it takes to steer Somalia out of this mess. But we hope that there will be a new beginning, a new dawn. As of the victory of Sadia Samatar, no doubt it is a historic win and one that is overdue. It is a significant step toward this political inclusion for our Somali women in the nation's leadership. Somali women are the backbone of our society, economy, and who saved this nation during this turmoil, 30 years of civil war. Sadia became a trailblazer that cracked the glass ceilings, and many of our young Somali girls will follow as a role model and in her footsteps. Congratulations to her. Great victory.
Excellent. As hard as the opposition taking the helm of the speakership of both houses mean that we may get a new president?
I think the victory of the opposition on both the Senate and the House speakership indicates towards where the political wind is blowing. The election of the Senate and the House have revealed much about the incumbent space and the organized stiff opposition he faces. If this trend continues, which I believe will be the case, there is very strong possibility come next month we might have a new president.
Right. And before we get to that, there's that other issue with the ghetto MPs. Currently, we have 32 MPs saying we're both elected from El Waq and Garbahari to be the second city, Jubaland second city election constituency. How could the current parliament navigate through that issue, through that dispute and issue, if you will, and what is the best way forward?
That is a mess, Abdulkader, to be honest with you. Uh, we know Somali politics is not known to compromise, right? And the Somali politicians seek solutions based on their interest or of that of their friends and allies, right? Making a win-win situation absolutely impossible. The political culture in Somalia is based on our nomadic background, which we usually fight over grass, water, and livestock such as camel. We see this trend unfolding right before our eyes. And my guess is it will end with a winner and loser. If you remember, at the day of the election of the speaker, MPs that are in camp with Farmajo, argument was that let all these 32 MPs be kicked out of the session and let the incoming speaker and the deputy speakers make a decision on which group will be the legitimately elected MPs representing those constituencies. If that holds, and we know both all the speaker and the two deputies are coming from the opposition groups. If that happens to be the case, my guess is the decision will not be in favor of Farmajo. Today, I'm hearing that all 32 MPs were able to enter the parliament session and it was chaotic. So the time will tell. I believe the finish line is near. So let us wait and see.
Right. If Sheikh Mohammed, thank you for that. If you could share your thoughts with the newly elected MPs regarding Somalia's next chapter, be it the election of the president or the code of conduct, and how we can perhaps move to a different direction on a chapter of Somalia's politics. What would you say to the MPs?
It's a very great question. Regardless of how these MPs came to power or get elected, and we know most of them, if not all, with the exception of a few, did not come legitimately, and we know how they got handpicked by the state presidents. But regardless of how they come to power, they are the sole legitimate entity that can speak on behalf of the people today, right? Therefore, they must consciously understand the responsibility they are entrusted with. Somali MPs are known to push the incumbent out without thoroughly weighing in available options, and later blame the president they elect. They cannot blame the next president if they do not carefully vet and elect the next president based on that person's honest understanding of the policies of that person and their competency. I pray for the MPs and the entire nation that the right person will emerge. And I hope they will make decisions based on who can take Somalia out of this mess, who can lead this nation and unite us, and who has the best intentions for this country. I hope they listen, and that's what they hope to do.
And a final question to you, Ishaq Mohammed, and thank you for your time and those insights. When you look at the pool of presidential elections, what jumps at you? What kind of a picture does it paint for the future of Somalia?
Well, I mean, there are so many of them out there, right? And sadly, uh, it does not seem many have put forward their manifestos, and not many Somalis read if they did. Uh, some of them are well known, some of them have a record, some of them are new to the political arena. Uh, it, 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 it all depends on what the MPs think and who they will elect. Of course, me and you have no voice, and we don't elect. And but I hope that those who have records have a record. The record is open to the public, can be viewed and studied. They are known what they have been when they were in power, what they have done and did not do. The new ones are the vague, kind of a vague that needs to be studied. So I'm very sure that there are enough individuals that can save this nation and can safeguard this nation and lead us from the mess. It all depends on will they get a chance.
Right. I thank you so much for joining us on sharing your insights on this burning topics and perhaps at a very important time of period to have this conversation. I can't thank you enough for joining us today. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome, and happy Eid Mubarak in advance to you and to our viewers.
Eid Mubarak, brother.